Hello, folks. Good Sunday to you. How nice to be here for you. So, we just went through a hurricane here in Florida, and I have to say, once again, I got very, very lucky. I did evacuate with all the pets. There are shelters pretty nearby, a few miles from where I happen to be. I'm very close to the coast, about 3 miles. And the neighbors all went to the shelters, and then one of the neighbors with their pets, one of them had to return because their dog could not handle being there. So my side of the street did not lose power. Their side of the street lost power. But their dog did calm down once they got home, so that was pretty good. And what else is going on? Let's see. So I have so many animals that I had to go somewhere else. And the other place that I went to was about an hour north of here with all the pets. They were so gracious to take us in because not everyone is okay with the quantity and or type of pets, and the pets actually did not have a good time at it either. But it's okay. The cat got some GABA. She was the only one drugged up. Everybody else just got like boxed up together or separately depending on their temperament and bundled into the car. And so we spent a couple nights with with a new friend, somebody that I had not known before, and that made it really kind of interesting and exciting. When we got home, our next door neighbors hadn't left either. To be fair, they moved out here from across the country, and I don't think they had a lot of friends out here, so they may have had a harder time finding. But they stood and they manned the drain in front of our houses, and they helped keep the flood water down, which is good because it actually got up to about halfway up the driveway. So, and while I was gone early Wednesday morning, some kids were walking down the street, like teenagers, and one of them like took my mailbox apart, kicked it, shoved it, unshoved it, reverse shoved it, sort of, until it sort of came apart and then ran away. So that's been exciting. I had to file a report with the post office inspectors and the police, but the police are a little busy right now, so nothing's happened. But it's kind of entertaining to watch them do it over and over. I probably watched the video of them destroying my mailbox about 50 times, maybe more. I don't know. Anyway, hi folks, thanks for being here. I have a couple things that I think I'm going to do today, and one is that I'm going to show you a new toy. So like last time we did like 2 things again. I think I might do 2 things this time, totally different. One is just like a little show and tell, but if you're lucky, if you're that kind of subject who responds to visual things, you might discover, or maybe even auditory things, that you find yourself going deeply into trance when I happen to show it off. So that's something that's coming up. And then the other thing is, so I like finding additional uses for things, right? Like I like giving something a use that wasn't there as a use before. Not that it couldn't have ever been there before, just, wasn't. So I have this other thing that is traditionally intended to be a manage your pain type of thing. It's very successful. I mean, first of all, hypnosis is very successful for managing pain. And then this particular thing is also good at managing pain, but it doesn't really have to be like physical pain. It could also be emotional pain, right? So if you're going to use it for emotional pain, just be aware that sometimes emotional pain brings up other things that you may or may not be prepared for. So physical pain is a little bit easier to deal with because your brain can always know that even if you take away the pain, if some new pain occurs, you can feel that, right? That's a sensible way to do it, so you don't like work your body to like some really detrimental point. I'm going to update you on something else right now, which is also my crazy nails, right? So because I've had to move so many things lately, like everything from the outside of the house got brought in, sandbags got put out, boards got put up, vehicles got all moved around at the warehouse. I had to bring everything. It was much closer to the shore than the house is. So everything had to go up even more just to be on the safe side. And that's a good thing I did because some things actually still got wet, but nothing that really matters in that sense. Like a cardboard box that holds plastic jugs got wet, but it's not really a big deal. So anyway, hello everyone. That is how I am. That is how I am. It's been a week. So in the process of doing all of that, my nails, which are now delightfully purple, right? I broke like 3 or 4 of them. It's put a little bit of a damper on me. Actually, I haven't stopped polishing them because it does help them get a little stronger, but I haven't been filming that. So, but one of these days I will put them out. I promise. I promise. All right, so let me show you my new toy. I'm going to try, do I have any light in here, extra light? Oh, I might have extra light. So let me see if I can get this extra lit up. If I'm lucky, I can get it extra lit up. I'm not lucky, as usual, so except for the hurricanes. All right, so I have this thing. I don't know if you can see the gloriousness that is this eye. Isn't that stunning? Like, I mean, it may not be everyone's cup of tea. I understand that. However, I think that it is pretty spectacular as a hypno toy. And I think that that is a pretty cool way to drop somebody into trance. If only I could like blink it. I guess that's maybe the only way I could do it. But I just thought that was a lot of fun, right? I mean, I have so many hypno-y things, and this, they sent me a video. They were like, I saw this thing, I thought of you, I thought I would like to send it to you. And I saw the video and I'm like, well, I don't really need another wallet. It's not the size I usually use. I have another wallet that is the same size, that is, I've also made a video with. But this one's really better if you can get like all the shinies. It's spectacularly shiny. Yeah, and I have blue eyes, so this sort of works for me. And it's like, is that close enough? Anyway, so I thought, let's do a fun little eye fixation. Literally on this. I'm going to keep moving this a little bit back and forth, and your brain can just notice that as I have definitely hypnotized. It wasn't sold to me, it was given to me as a gift, but the person who gave it to me, I have definitely hypnotized a lot of times over the years. So I don't think that they hypnotized the seller, however. So how about, as you find yourself staring at this, you can notice all the different shiny things that you find yourself paying attention to. Are you focused? right here at the pupil in the middle? Are you focused the iris? Are you focused on the whites, the corners? Where is your focus? And how easy is it to give yourself over to trance while you look at it? And maybe you'll notice it when I flip it. You can find yourself dropping deeper, right? Because that feels good, right? To notice that your unconscious mind can simply feel how very good that is to drop deeper into trance. To feel yourself surrendering and giving into that eye. Now this eye doesn't blink, but perhaps when you blink, you just drop deeper. Maybe you try really hard to have a staring contest with this eye, but this eye will not blink. And because it will not blink, you might notice that you find yourself compelled to do so. And as you find yourself compelled to blink, you can drop down deeper. And the more you find yourself in that state of dropping down deeper, of looking at that eye, it can feel so good and so easy to go into trance. And because I'm going to do 2 of these, you can know that no matter how deeply or lightly you go into trance now, that when you find yourself listening later and dropping even deeper, it'll be easier for you to go next time. It'll be simpler for you to go next time. It'll feel so good for you to just feel yourself giving in. Just feel yourself giving in and to drop down deeper into trance next time. So hold on to how good that feels. To look at the eye, to drop deeper into trance, to feel how good it is to let your concerns, your worries, your fears, your whatever that you might have to let go. Your thoughts that you need to deal with, you can deal with them when we're done. And let your unconscious mind think about how good it feels to simply give in to the state of trance, give in to dropping down deeper, to stare deeply into my eye, and to feel how nice that is, to allow your unconscious mind to focus and let go, to focus and let go, to focus and let go. And perhaps you realize that the more you find yourself in that state of focusing and letting go, whether or not you blink, whether or not you drop, whether or not you give into it, your unconscious mind just knows that it's so easy to find yourself in that open and suggestible state. And the more you find yourself in that open and suggestible state, the better it all feels, right? So as it feels so good to be in that open and suggestible state, let your brain just hold on to what that feels like and how amazing that is, whether you blinked, whether you shut your eyes, whether you kept them open. Everything about that can become more and more amazing for your brain to process. And as your unconscious mind lets you process how good it feels to stare into my eye, let yourself just drop down deeper and deeper. Give in a little bit more. And then go ahead and on the count of 10, find yourself coming up all the way, wide awake, feeling more and more amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, all the way back. So just a fun little eye fixation for a minute or 2. Get your brain ready, primed for whatever else is coming. And how fun is that, to let your brain get to that place where the eye just stares back at you, right? If I could put that, like, that would be good. If I could rest that right here. Unfortunately, this is not an actual big enough lip, I think, for it. I'd have to maybe stick it there. I don't know. If I could hang it out somewhere in here, I would. But this is not super conducive to doing that behind me at any rate. So, yeah, that eye does not blink. It does not blink. I could stick it right here, though. Might be very distracting. I don't know. Maybe I could, let's see, can I, like, tuck it in just a little bit? I mean, that's a little goofy, but whatever. I'll just stick it right there. So, yeah. I mean, that would be good. If I could get a shirt that had this on it, I would do that too with all the little diamonds. It actually, like, so it's a little delicate, right? And it came with little bits of extra diamonds, like a little bag full of extra tiny diamonds that I can replace any that fall off with. But, um, excellent, getting all your attention this way. You're focused on this right here, right? And then my words just slide smoothly into your unconscious mind, and poof, everything gets better and better. So here's a question for you. Sometimes people want to know, if hypnosis is so amazing, why aren't hypnotist lives like super amazing too? And I think that for some people they absolutely are, and I feel like my life is pretty good. But I think they mean like, so why aren't you a millionaire? Or, why don't you, why don't you rule the world, or whatever it happens to be. And I think that it can be a little challenging for that, because no matter what we find ourselves doing in terms of sessions or session material or even courses of work with people, human beings are so complex, and we don't always get to the very root of a thing that like magically makes our lives as though we've picked, a different path from the very beginning. So I think that sometimes people want to know things like that, and then they don't realize that, first of all, we're very complex. We can change something, and then it will change something else, and we might have additional things to deal with. But also, humans keep changing themselves, right? Like, we have a life, and we keep changing our lives, and so every time we change something, it gets a little more complex, and maybe it gets us further away from the goals that we thought we were setting initially. I don't know. Anyway, I do think the hypnosis is really, really great for allowing us to sort of spot change something that then again might need some additional tweaking to make it just exactly right for you. What has been your experience with that sort of thing? Unless you're still so focused on this eye, which I'm going to encourage, I absolutely am going to encourage that you find yourself focused on the eye. It's a mirror image for me, so sometimes it's like a little bizarre for me to look at it. Anyway, maybe that'll do. So if hypnosis has helped you overall, like for some people, I just want to be more confident, right? That's a thing. And then that can lead to a cascade effect of all the other things that you might find yourself wanting to do. Or you might be like, oh, I want to get fit. And that has, again, a cascading effect on yourself. But you wouldn't necessarily have pinged it as, I'm changing my whole life with hypnosis to make it so much better. And maybe you were, and maybe you did anyway. I don't know. So if you have thoughts on that, I would love to know what you have to think about that. And if you don't have thoughts on that, well, that's fine too. Because sometimes no thoughts are the best thoughts, right? But honestly, if you have thoughts about that, leave them below. But if otherwise. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do today, that was just a short, was just going to be a short thing, but then I discovered I could stick it here and you can still focus on it. So now I really have to get a shirt with something like this on it. That's my next goal, to find a diamond EI shirt that I could wear to distract everyone with. So, good ideas, folks. So the thing that I was talking about earlier, which is, so there's this technique by Anthony Jacquin called the arrow. It is meant to get rid of pain. It is meant to, and both emotional and physical pain. So it is meant to get rid of that, which can be life-changing for a lot of people. So the thing is that sometimes I wonder what else can you do with it, right? Like there's all these NLP techniques that you can use. It's like a hammer. Like you could build a doghouse. You could build your own house. You could just tap a floorboard in or something. Like you could do a lot of different things with the same tool, right? If I find it, I will. I think this was bought at like a street fair, but so if you are using a tool for something, how many additional things can you use it for? I mean, there is that statement that if you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. Fair enough, right? But there are so many tools that we have nowadays that are valid for a lot of different things. So, like, I don't know, Excel, for example, that's a tool. And people do all sorts of crazy stuff in the same wheelhouse, but different things. All right, so let me tell you a little bit about the arrow. It is a technique that is meant for pain management or pain elimination, depending on the type of pain. Oh my goodness, this is wonderful. Thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to see some of the names, and I am grateful that you're here. So this technique involves you being in whatever space you're in and imagining that people that absolutely love you are there. And if you can't think of somebody, then somebody could be you. Just want to say that. So it's important that you find somebody that cares for you and that you find yourself appreciating. So these people are all there, and maybe they don't have faces. Maybe you don't know who these people are, but they know you. They love and appreciate you. And then you find yourself, like so many other hypnotic techniques, you find yourself going up and up and up and up. And as you go up, a couple things can happen. And one is that as you go up higher and higher, you can shed some of the things that are weighting you down. So especially for emotional stuff, it can be really good to let go of these things, right? So the higher you go, it's like the more they just fall off you. And then when you're up about as far as you can go, you imagine this little tiny target all the way down in the earth, right? Or almost at the earth. And that target is like the final piece that allows everything else, whether it's pain of any sort, whether it's a certain trait that you have that you're like, I really need to get rid of this, could be almost anything. But the moment you find yourself thinking about that thing, you allow whatever it is that you would like to get rid of, the things that have been sort of falling off you as you've been rising up, to for you to know that the moment you find yourself coming back down, because you come back down, and you hit that target, that the moment you go through that target, everything that you had been feeling or thinking about in that feeling sense, or a certain behavior that you had wanted to get rid of, it's like that target, the moment you go through it, the instant you go through it, it like sort of like blips all of it away. And it might hurt for just a moment as you pass through there, and then it's gone. This is not word for word, by the way. So if you've ever done this and you're like, I don't remember those parts, don't worry about it. I've never known a single hypnotist to do something exactly the same way every time unless they are reading a script. So, and I don't use those, so my brain just has to go in whichever direction it pleases. But what you can know is that the moment you go through that, right, and you eliminate whatever that thing is that's been causing you pain of whatever sort, then you gently and kindly flow back down to your own body here and now. And then you feel the love, the healing, the whatever you need from those people that you've surrounded yourself with, in whichever form that you've done that. Sometimes you can feel them giving you a hug or maybe a handshake, depending on the relationship that you might have with them. You might feel that you do this to your own body. You know, you've come down, sort of had an out-of-body experience, come back, hug your body, go back into it, and feel appreciation and love and healing from doing all those things. So that's just sort of an overview. Why do I tell you an overview? Because sometimes people are like, well, I had no idea how it worked, but this is what happened. So I wanted you to have a little idea about how good it feels to understand the mechanics behind it, slightly, sort of, kind of. There are definitely ways to break this down more, but so that's what we're going to do today. If that's not interesting to you, thank you for being here so far. if you just want to stare at the eye, if you just want to stare at the eye, that's okay too. But however you want to do it, here we go. So I'd like you to get as comfortable as you possibly can. Close your eyes and imagine that there are people around you who love you, whether these are actual people that you know, whether it's 10 copies of yourself, whether they're people you do not know, whether it's your pets. It doesn't matter what that is. You're going to imagine that there are people around you that love you, that want the very best for you. They absolutely care deeply for you, and they are here for you as well. And that's why they are here surrounding you. So as you imagine that, you can allow your body to get as comfortable as it can. And perhaps as you find yourself sinking more deeply into trance, you can imagine yourself rising up out of your body. Perhaps you can notice, if you're in physical pain, that there are spots on your body that are highlighted. If that's true for you, cool. That can become important later. Maybe you're finding yourself having some kind of emotional thing. Maybe there's a spot on your body or your brain where you're really carrying that and really feeling that. If there's something specific that you find yourself wanting to work on, wanting to get done, and you feel that you are unable to do it for whatever reason, you can find yourself thinking about that. The reasons that you cannot do this thing can be the things that you let go of on the way up, that you fully eliminate going through that target. Just so hold on to the ways that you think you might be able to use this idea as you keep going up. And as you keep going up, your unconscious mind, your body, that part of you, that invisible you, can begin to shed things that are not important, that have been important in affecting you in a way that you don't like and you don't appreciate, but your unconscious mind can know that it just feels so very good for you to rise up higher and higher. Because every little bit that you do that, you let some of these things go. They drop off, they fall off, they burn up in the atmosphere, but you do not. You feel absolutely safe and secure. It feels very, very powerfully good to be where you are, rising up in the air. And as these things disappear, you go up a little faster and a little faster. And everything about that just feels so very safe for you. You can look down, you can see the world like a little model, like you're perhaps in a plane or, I don't know, looking at an aerial picture. And you can notice that as you look up, you might notice that there's more to go. You will go as far as you need to go in order to shed as much as you possibly can on your way. You might think about the places on your body where maybe you weren't feeling emotionally or physically 100%. And again, if there's any pain that you need to have because it alerts you to something new, that will happen. But for the moment, for the meantime, your brain can think about the way you would like to be. When you're up there as high as you can go, when you stop moving, stop letting things go, stop moving up, you've gotten as high as you possibly can, your unconscious mind can think about the things that you would like to find yourself doing and how good it is to let go of the things that were holding you back, to let go of the things that were pulling you down, that were preventing you from moving forward in your life, that were being challenging for you in some way, that were blocking you from seeing what you needed to do or from whatever it was that you needed to do. So as you find yourself there, you're going to notice when you look down, when you're ready, there's a target. Is it one of those red and white circle ones or something else? You can design your own, it doesn't matter. But you're going to notice that there is a very center of it. And the moment you're ready, your unconscious mind is going to say, okay, we're ready to let go of that stuff now. And you're going to find yourself plunging down faster and faster and faster, almost as though your body is calling the rest of you back. It may hurt for just a millisecond as you go through that target, as you go through the center of that target. When you go through the center of that target, anything that was causing you that pain, that emotional distress, those blockages will just be obliterated. And as those things are obliterated, the moment you go through, you can find yourself slowing down again. You can feel that moment of pain, and then as you find yourself slowing down and getting to your body again, you might notice that you find yourself feeling this amazing sense of lightness. You might find yourself feeling this amazing sense of healing. So tell you what, let's allow your body, your projected body, to begin to receive from the universe around you, from wherever that target is to where your body is, some sort of really amazing, delightful healing light that just comes from the universe, attracts itself to your body, enters your body, and then begins to additionally heal any spots inside that may have gotten roughed up in whatever way that might possibly have happened. So feel that, I don't know, golden glowing light entering your body. Feel how good it feels to float down, to go back into your body. Maybe, as I said before, maybe you want to, give your body a hug before you actually enter it, so you can feel that around you, that care, that concern. You can notice that there are other people around you, whether or not you know their faces. Maybe they come up to you and they hug you. Maybe they say, I love you, or you say that back to them. And you can really feel how interesting it is for your body and your mind to feel as though you are getting healed, you have let go of things that you no longer needed, and that you find yourself feeling some sort of resolution with whatever it was that you discarded, whatever it was that burned up in the atmosphere as you were rising up, whatever it was that got burned up as you went through that target, whatever it is that got fully healed as that light came down and entered you and helped you to find your body again, whatever it is that you find yourself doing. Let your unconscious mind think about how good all of those things feel. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come all the way back up, saying hi. I'll count to 10 to help you if you need that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take a nice deep breath in. 9, open your eyes. 10, wide awake. Go ahead and move your body back to a new comfortable position. And let me know how things went for you. I did take down the eye. I didn't want it to be a distraction when I was no longer doing the hypnosis. So Anthony Jacquin is in the UK. He's the one that developed that arrow technique. Again, I've taken liberties with how he actually does it. But his son wrote Reality is Plastic. They do a lot of hypnosis things over there. Yeah, I can understand why that might be, John. And I think that I think people are used to not having things that are nice for them unless they're like physically really like feeling good. Like super sexy things can feel great for people, and that's okay. But like mentally feeling good about ourselves can be really, really challenging for a lot of people, and maybe that's why I do a lot of them. I don't know. But I do think it's really good to be more positive towards ourselves or kinder to ourselves or whatever. I do. But yeah. Well, I appreciate that you shared that. So if anybody has any other things, we could even do another type of thing today, but I need some ideas because I've been doing too much de-hurricaning lately, and my brain has really just been like, oh, no, I don't think so. I've been, so there's another person, I don't want to share, sometimes they're in here, but they have, I don't want to like out them in any way, but they have recently published a novel, and I've been having a great time reading it. It was my evacuation reading, and I think that's wonderful. So if you're in here, I'm really liking it. If you're not in here, well, I'll tell you when I talk to you. that it's been really great to read that. So, all right. All right, so I'm going to, I guess we're going to keep it short today. I know it's sometimes hard. Sometimes we do more chatting before we do trances, and sometimes the trances are a little bit longer. But I'm going to cut it short today, get back to all of the stuff. Yes, I can absolutely do that. Let's see. All right, what's the best way to do that? Let's surround us all with bliss for just a moment. So I just sat up and I'm closing my eyes because it feels good for me to close my eyes in this moment and think about how I would surround myself with bliss and what that means. So, following on the tails of the last thing that we just did, I would say imagine what your idea of bliss would be, because everyone's going to be a little bit different. And allow yourself to mentally, whether or not you can see it, it doesn't matter, but allow yourself to mentally develop this idea of what bliss would be like for you. For some people, it might be a bubble bath. For other people, it might be a great night's sleep. For other people, it might be a great meal. For other people, it might be lying on the hammock on a beach. For other people, it might be skydiving. I don't care. It doesn't matter what my idea of bliss is. It matters what your idea of bliss is. So allow yourself to think about exactly what that means. Allow your unconscious mind to think about all the ways in which you can receive that bliss, that you can receive those good feelings. And the more you find yourself really adding in each and every detail that you can, allow the stuff to be there, perhaps allow the position of your body to be there. Can you add in some noise, some sounds that enhance that? Is there a temperature that makes your bliss better? Can you allow your unconscious mind to do its very best to just make that image, that idea, as strong as possible? Can you smell something that really helps this idea feel even more realistic? Are you holding something? Are you lying on something or sitting on something? What are the sounds that you hear while you're doing this thing that make it so very touchable almost for you? But allow your expression of that idea of bliss to begin to be so strong, to allow it to be so big. I don't know if you've ever been in any of those 360-degree theaters, and they have chairs that move, and they spray things in the air that smell good or terrible, but they smell good in our situation. And you can feel yourself moving with what's on the screen. And you can hear the sounds. Allow your unconscious mind to do that as much as it possibly can, to inhabit your idea of what bliss feels like or is like to you. For it to be as intense as possible, as big as possible, to surround you like one of those movies. And to allow all the details to simply fall into place so that you experience something as powerfully, strongly as you can. Whatever else you need to experience to be there, let that come in. There may be some things that you had no idea you needed to be there that happen to pop into your brain, either as a word or as an image, as a sound, as a smell, as a taste, as a touch, whether it's a physical touch or an emotional touch. And let those all happen in concert with one another so they enhance each other as strongly as they possibly can. And as you find yourself in that state where this feels even better and even better, let your unconscious mind just amplify it. Let your unconscious mind amplify that to the point where it feels almost too good, where it feels that maybe you couldn't handle any more bliss. And then notice that your body just absorbs it and you feel even better. Drop and sink down deeper and deeper while your unconscious mind feels how amazing that bliss is, that state of bliss, that place where, or those ideas where everything is exactly the way you would want it to be. I want to say, don't worry about it if this place isn't exactly right, because you can always return to this place. And when you return to this place, you can notice that your brain can add in anything else that you've discovered or take away something that wasn't quite right. It's all in your mind. So let your brain think about how good it can be to experience a place that truly gives you that experience of being as happy and blissful as you possibly can. Let yourself put this in a special place so that you can go back to it. Let your unconscious mind say, this is a special thing, I'm going to put it here. I can access this anytime I want. So you can have it forever, and it's yours, and you can do with it what you please. Once you've done that, take a nice deep breath in. And as you let it out, you can find yourself coming up all the way back to consciousness on the count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All the way back up. Thank you for that suggestion, Mandy. That was great. I enjoyed it, even though I had to take some lozenge in the middle because I thought I was going to cough, and I forgot to get myself water. And yes, Timus, I am okay. I did take that and run with it. Why not? I'm not doing yoga though, so. All right. Thank you everyone for being here. I will be back next Sunday. I'm going to try to get some, not this week, next week. The hurricane threw everything off. But next week I'm going to try to get some shorts or some shorter videos out. So hopefully you'll have more things to watch. Anyway, I do appreciate you all being here. I'm always so grateful. Please subscribe and or like if you haven't already. And feel free to add any comments. And I'll be back next Sunday. So thanks for being here. Have a great day. And catch you next week. Bye.